Hello and welcome to this Warno 2v2 game played on Two Lakes Duel between Frisbee and Peanut going up against YourFish and Moosman. So we'll cover the deck reviews, then we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game, and as always timestamps in the description. Right, so these are the deck reviews, and we'll start with PACT. As always in these 2v2 ones, I'm not going to go through every single unit. I'm going to talk more about the synergy between the divisions, right? And things like that, because it is a 2v2, not a 1v1. So you got to think about how you're going to coordinate with your teammate. 157 and 27 is a half decent combo, pretty decent combo. So 157's covering more of the anti-air and the air, because 27 doesn't get long range AA. So that can be useful. It's worth noting that the Tor got buffed. I haven't actually used it since the buff, but apparently it's good now. It goes a lot further, so maybe it's good now. Certainly, you can try it. See if it works, right? So you could get it instead of that, for example. The Strela 10M3 went down in price, because, yes, it turns out it wasn't as good as the Tunguska. So I was wrong on that, because I did used to say that. If you're on Two Lakes, which is a 1v1 map, and you're playing it as a 2v2, you might as well lean into the fact that 27 gets 2 cards of grads. I think that's probably a good idea, so I'd be going for a fob. And I'd be gradding it up. So, to find a way to get some points on the board. This thing, really not useful in a 2v2. In a 1v1, it's pretty funny, because you open with this, and this, which presumably is why it's all in there. In a 2v2, this thing's probably going to get blown up pretty quickly. You can bring it if you want, but yeah, this might be a safer bet in that case. Just trying to find a place to get the double grads in. Could bring the grenade launcher squads, right? That could be cool. Although I suppose you've got a grenade launcher here. BMP3s, I'm not sure how many of them you'd want. 8's probably a bit much. I've played a lot of 27Y recently. There are a lot of games on the channel. So yeah, this div, it looks a lot like my 27Y 1v1 deck. So I don't have too much to say, but in a 2v2, I really do think you should be leaning on the grads a bit more. I'm trying to figure out how. Basically, you're gonna have to lose a card of infantry, but so you could downbet this and get rid of that, and then you can get second grad, right, for the fob, and then. Yeah, you do want this. This is really good against infantry and so on, but then that's 1 AP spare, which, oh no, it's not the end of the world. Honestly, if you want to smoke and stuff, like, these can work for that, but if you're not gonna do it, then just don't bring it. So hopefully we see him and we see the smoke, otherwise, yeah, it's too much arty, really. But yeah, you can always bring these if you want to smoke. I do, because in my 1v1 deck I bring the Nonas, and it's because you basically can't counter battery them because they'll fire and move. So I do use them for the smoke. I think they have to be at 1 vet from what I remember, otherwise it can't maintain a constant patch of smoke. Yeah, so 2, 4, 6 CVs, so yeah, across the board, there'll be probably about 12. 9, 10, 11. Yeah, the thing with Two Lakes Duel is you lose a lot of CVs. So, I think that's probably a reasonable number of CVs. But yeah, honestly, you should be bringing the fob if you're going to be playing Two Lakes Duel in a 2v2. Bring the fob, get the 2 grads out, and just bomb the enemy town for 40 minutes. Yeah, so Moosman here is playing 157Y. So yeah, in terms of the synergy between these two, I did start that train of thought, and then I just went into this deck. 27Y does the heavier stuff, and 157Y does the long-range anti-air and the infantry. So yeah, the 157Y deck looks a lot like my 157Y deck, so don't have too much to say about it. So yeah, the three cards of Reservisti are pretty much core. Their price did go up by 5 points, so it might be worth bringing a card of Respool Machiki if you want. Because they're 5 points cheaper and they're better against infantry, but the thing is you get two fewer of them. You do want this. Like I said, I won't go through every unit, right? This looks a lot like my 157Y deck. I don't know if I bring two cards of these. I probably do, actually. But yeah, the BMP ones are pretty useful. They're pretty useful, actually. So yeah, I'm not sure what to get rid of to put that in. Reservist sappers, yeah, I mean they're kind of hard to use. 7-4. What a joke. If it was 7-5, might be worth it, but anyway. Yeah, it all kind of looks good to me. What I will say is that if you're on Two Lakes Duel and or Two Lakes and it's a 2v2, you could swap the barracks out for these. But yeah, it's really not great. Like the rate of fire is literally 1 a minute, man. I mean, it's obviously 1 point. No, because that's like 120 seconds to fire 2 rounds. So yeah, it's about 1 round a minute. Yeah, maybe it's best the way it is. And then yeah, the fighters. This thing's really good against tanks and stuff. But you might say, well, the T8M is kind of the same, and you're saying to take that out, and yeah, good point. Also, this thing we've had a lot of discussions about, so like it is really funny against infantry, but that's a 3 point slot, and instead, because this is 80 points, right, you could just bring the IS2s, and the IS2s, you can get 2 of them for the same price, and they can move, so I eventually took this out of my deck and put the IS2s in, but I haven't actually played a game with the IS2s yet. Apart from that, there's not much to say. I think 3 cards of supply makes sense with it being a... although, to be honest, given that I've just put the double grad in the 27Y player's deck, you would actually want a fob on this div as well, because the double grad will drain it all. So, if you put CV next to it, if you forget, then it probably won't. Switching to their opponents, we've got 8th and 101st. It's kind of the same idea. One does the heavy stuff, one does the infantry stuff. The forward deployment's going to be very important, and 101st gets the best forward deployment in the game, the Delta Force guys. But he's brought it in the wrong transports. If you want them to go mega fast, you want it in the Humvee Delta, because that's special forces, so it goes faster. Now in a 1v1, I would say you should bring this at 2 vet, because they go even faster, and this will then go at 130 kilometers an hour. But in a 2v2, it's going to be kind of grindy. You're going to lose loads of guys, so I think this is probably better. Yeah. So lots of fighters. No bombers, which can make sense against the PACT AA. Upvetted, 30 cals. How comes there's 1 AP spare? Was that because of me, or is that just like that? Yeah, it's just, I mean, well, what's going on? Why do you not want more units? There's a 1 AP slot here. So, don't... oh yeah, it's not vetted. It all looks very normal to me. But yeah, there's obviously a free slot here, so can be nice to get something like the MP Patrol M67, because they've got the recoilless rifles, which are nice. Something like this might be useful in a 1v1, although it is very slow. But in a 2v2, there's not... on a 1v1 map, there's not really much space for this. But yeah, these are useful because you put them with your infantry, and the recoilless rifle's nice against enemy infantry, and like all your infantry is just going to fight better because they've got military police near them. It's a shame there's no Aero Engineers Flash, you know, with like a 10-man squad with Flash, because like the only thing you've got is, and this is really good. So you could bring this, and then because you know you've already got plenty of CVs, you could just use this as a frontline unit. It will die, but it'll do good work in the town. But yeah, the MP Patrol M67 if you don't want to do that, I'd say. Uh, yeah, and then his teammate is playing 8th US. This thing is so bad. Don't bring that. Just do this. There you go. Problem solved. Only 2 cards of supply in a 40-minute... well, I'm assuming it's going to be a 40-minute game, given the 2 lakes in a 2v2. It's just always a massive churn. So you probably want 3 cards of supply. Too much AA here, really. I downvet the Eyehawk. That's like, this is a 2-point slot, so... You know, the pivads against infantry, it can work. I'm pretty sure I still bring it, but... Yeah, it's not that amazing, frankly. But yeah, you definitely don't want, like, all of... Because doesn't 101st get the chaparrals as well? And you've got 3 fighters. Like, how many planes are you expecting? So I would get rid of... Oh, crap. I hate it when... Yeah, Anyway. Yeah, I'd probably get rid of that. Bet that. And that's if you want, like, you know, anti-infantry kind of thing going on. Because, yeah, it's just kind of a narrow map, right? Basically, you want this. This thing's... 8th really struggles against infantry. It really does. If you play against, like, a good KDA player or something, you'll just lose unless you've got this. So we want to get an extra AP somewhere. Probably don't need 6 Bradleys. Recon Helo would be nice, but given your teammate is the Helo div, you probably don't need one. And so I'd probably swap this out for the CEVs. And you bring this at 1 vet because you can survive a TOW 2 hit and it doesn't have smoke, so it needs to get away. So if it's at no vet, it's going to be low cohesion immediately and you're not going to be able to get it out of there. Anyway, so here you want one of these to be a regular Cobra because this is way better against infantry because it's got 76 rockets, whereas this one has 14, right? So a big difference there. So you do want that anti-infantry capability. Yeah, I'm just trying to find... Oh yeah, the 3rd card... Wow, I'm a genius! I'm so smart! Incredible. Yeah. And then, yeah, his teammate has got a bit of his own arty, because obviously this guy should be the arty guy, but you do need your own arty. You can't just constantly ask your teammate to hit stuff for you. And then, yeah, like... 12 fighters between them, which is a lot, frankly. You know, you might want to bring maybe what, you know, like having a regular bomber like this can be super useful if the enemy does a breakthrough. Can be very useful to have that. But yeah, they want lots of fighters. Spoke about this. This should be the Delta Force one, right? Well, I've already been through all this, really. 2 cards of supply on this div makes sense, but yeah, the 8th player in a 40-minute game, you need 3 cards. In a 1v1, I would be bringing 2. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what I do in mine now. Oh no, I still bring 3, because I had a ton... Yeah, this div wants to go late. And look, I still bring the pivads, and maybe I shouldn't, frankly. Maybe I shouldn't. Although, what would I even... Because it's a 2-point slot. I guess I could bring 2 more helos, but... You know, or I could, like... double vet my stingers or something, or yeah, or I could like mess with the Eyehawks. But yeah, the pivads is nice against infantry. It's just getting into range kind of hard. Or I could swap it out for the Chappie and use that with the tanks. But I mean, it's just so expensive, right? And this has a bit of armor. But yes, I bring the CEV now after my trials and tribulations. So that's it for the deck reviews. Now we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so with that out of the way, this is the old version of two lakes. I didn't know it was still in the game, but yeah, I think if you select two lakes 2v2 or something, you get this version. Um, and basically, so in the 1v1 version, this is the better side. But in the 2v2 version, for what I remember, this was the better side, because basically red gets this town, and blue gets this town. Although red has no forward deployment, so that's going to be rough. But the thing is that Tatiana here is absolutely massive, and so basically what you do as red is you just smoke here, and you just walk in this corner. And that's what we always used to do. And then this was when Balance Man was in charge. And so he saw me doing that, and then he just made this zone really small. Problem solved! So, yeah, interesting map. But yeah, generally it's a 1v1 map, right? I'm pretty sure the game still says it's a 2v2 map. It's really not. In terms of, like, the matchup, basically, Red haven't brought enough grads. They should have gone, like, double fob and then 2 grads on the 27Y player. Old school 27Y with the double grad, right? You used to be able to get 2 grads on it and upvet them, so you'd still have 2, but they'd be vetted, but I can't do that anymore. And it was one of the only divs in the game that could do that. Anyway, or it was the only div in the game that could do it, because this was before Northag came out. Anyway, they've not done that, so they've really hampered their ability here, and so I think Blue's got a pretty good chance, because they're not going to get gradded all game. Like, these guys have 1 grad, but they should have 2 and 2 fobs, really, and put CVs next to them and just hammer the heck out of all of this. So I think Blue's got a decent chance, because they're going to, they've got the only forward deployment. Red doesn't have any airborne forward deployment. And then it's just going to be, well, I just sit there. It's generally what this map is. So, yeah, I mean, 8th and 101st versus 27 and 157Y. Spoke about this a bit in the deck review. They're fairly decent compositions, right? Infantry plus armor and infantry plus armor. The red one, yes, no airborne forward deployment. It's pretty rough, right? So if don't know if YourFish was playing like 119Y, probably would have been a better pick. Or 79Y, but yeah, 119Y with the Spetsnaz OP, that would be pretty cool. And then for blue, like, there are better divs than 101st Airborne. And 8th could go, like, I don't know, 11th US or something, but I think both of the compositions are fairly decent. Looking at the deployments, we got a bunch of planes coming out here, so 3 on one side and 2 on the other. And Blue's got Delta Force going into Fedor, and LRS going into not going into Tatiana. Big Hellfire. I mean, it's a small helo, but it's got a big missile on it. Dies in 1 hit to like any manpad in the game, so we got to protect it, and I guess that's what these are for. And yeah, big helo attack. I mean, it is 101st Airborne, open brackets, air assault, right? That's what's happening. These things, the price came down a bit. They might be worth it now. I still think they're kind of hard to use, really, because they die in 1 hit to a manpad, right? But yeah, we got some Blackhawks here, some Chinooks here. Well, the Blackhawks are from the 8th US players, so 101st on the left and 8th US on the right. And yeah, so we got some Bradleys, Rangers, and so on. Surprise the LRS on in the town, but yeah, I mean, if you have airborne forward deployment on this side in the 1v1 cut, so I think the spawn is in a slightly different place. So I don't know how it works for the 2v2 cut, but yeah, you can get from up to here before the enemy get there. And given that its opponents don't have any airborne forward deployment, I think this makes sense. Switching to their opponents, we got 2 PACT divs. I don't know what this means. 300 points, by the way. And I don't know what Minder Dan, or, mind your 300 points. Who knows? And we're gonna push towards here, apparently. I believe this is Dutch. It's definitely not German. Otherwise, I'd understand what it meant. Well, okay, maybe not, but yeah, so 3 fighters out, and then 157Y on the left, and 27Y on the right. It's the wrong way round, really. I mean, well, is it... Basically, if you're red, because the enemy has the forward deployment, you want to make sure that you don't lose Fedor at the start, and then very slowly push into Tatiana over the course of the game. And so, putting the armoured guy on the right when the enemy has airborne forward deployment means that they're probably going to get into Fedor, and you're really going to struggle to push them out. But yeah, basically the infantry div should start here, and then obviously come over here to help. And the armoured div should probably start here, because they're sieging this town, which is what you need the armour for, really. I don't know, I mean, obviously I can see everything, and they can't, so I know this is going to happen, and then this div would be better at dealing with it than this div. So, a bunch of reservist Razvedkas coming towards these green markers. This one's probably not going to get here. And then behind that we got the Mega Blob, consisting of 6 Reservisti. A military police, one of those 130mm things, a couple T-55s, an ATGM, a CV, and a couple, machine gun team. And then, yeah, on the right, there's just not much stuff, right? Because it all costs so much. So, because it's 27Y, so a couple Spetsrazvedka and, Saperi RPO. It's going to be tough against this infantry, which is going to get there first. Although he's peeling up like prematurely. Like, these could unironically just get to here. He's put them in the wrong transport, right? They're not in this Special Forces transport, but if they were, they could just get to here. Because the enemy doesn't have airborne forward deployment. At least in the 1v1 cut. I'm not sure if these are starting further back in the 2v2 cut. Anyways, let's cast the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. They fly their helo out ahead of the planes, and is it going to make it? Oh, why'd he turn away? What's he doing? What? Basically, yeah, you wanna fly into it, right? Once you get close enough, this thing's faster than you, so you're not getting away. So basically, they should have just put all 3 fighters onto this, but instead they kind of like evac'd one, sent the helo forwards anyway to die. The T8M's out, right? Like in the meme. I just don't understand that at all. If that fighter hadn't been turned away, that Eagle wouldn't have killed that helo, and this would have gone completely differently. So it's really bad news actually for Red. Anyway, this still has rounds. It's got guns on it. Why aren't they shooting the helos before they land? And so on. Anyway, so. Yeah, the T8M's doing really well, because they ended up getting the air superiority. So, it fires 2 at once, right? So you can... Why do you evac it? What I was going to say is it fires 2 at once and it gets 16 missiles. So you can, if you get air superiority, you can keep it up for ages and just kill everything. But they got the air superiority and then they evac'd it. So, lots of missed opportunities here for Red. Because, yeah, they could have stopped a lot of these from landing because they had the planes, they just didn't use them. They could have saved that big, expensive helo. But, yeah, now they've got Special Forces problems. So, yeah, given that the fighters are up, and they've got all these fighters up, they could get a helo up to here, right, and shoot them with the helo. In the meantime, Red is pushing here. There is smoke, which is good to see. I think it's coming from the blue player, though. And typically, if you're Red and you want to get in here, basically, yes, you need to secure this. And then you need to secure this. So you don't get shot in the side while you're pushing. And, if you have the range advantage with your ATGMs, you don't really want to be smoking the enemy, because it lets him get close enough to use his guns on you. So yeah, smoke can be a double-edged sword, basically. I do like this from YourFish here, coming up this side, because then he can cut all this and, hopefully kill that Chaparral. Using the BTR-80s, I've got a guide on that. So you see that, it's like this could get into range to shoot. Obviously still missed and died. These do actually have smoke. Anyway, this is going to be really difficult for him to kill because it's not a vehicle. And yeah, 27Y trying to sort out the town while 157Y is trying to push in the open is really suboptimal. You want the 27Y player here with his, you know, BMP3s and stuff and his long-range stuff. And you want the 157Y here with his 10 guerrillian infantry in this town killing all the special forces. Frisbee here, he's got a CV, he's just sort of forgotten to move it up. So it's even Stevens, even though he's got guys in the zone. Kiowa comes in. Oh, I said it right. Kiowa comes in there, and yeah, gets vision on that BTR, and so yeah, you got the 27Y player bringing all his tracked IFV, low HP, expensive infantry. It's not ideal, really. And over here, you've got the 157Y player with his poor armor trying to push over this open field into all the ATGMs and stuff. It's a hard knock life, you know. But this guy's not really making it easy for themselves. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely prefer Blue's position. And now he's realised, oh yeah, I can move this up. And, like, what the hell's 27Y supposed to do about this? You really need the, like, because, you know, the 157Y player, you know, there's no hurry, right? You can just say, okay, next couple of minutes, I'm just going to buy a bunch of infantry, reservist Saperi and those Commanditura big squads and the Reservisti and just dunk them in here and clean this out because, you know, you are a team. You can't just I play my lane, you play your lane. So, yeah, I'm quite surprised that, I mean, I guess the Abrams, because it stopped here, you know. It's probably going to take out this Conquer's M now. And, yeah, the BMP-2AGs are pretty decent at, you know, if they're on the edge of the town and they can shoot into the town, they do quite well. This thing missing twice in a row at that range is pretty unfortunate, but it does happen. But yeah, you know, if you're Reds, you got to think like a team, right? You got to sort it because well, I suppose Blue's sort of doing it, right? Like Peanut has some guys here. There's one guy there. Never mind. So you got to prioritize, right? Okay, we need to get them out of our zone, right? Our zone. You play in these team games. Why did you lose your zone? Same team, our zone. So really the okay, so he's sending no, he isn't. He's sending this over here, it's just coming down that road. The T8M's back up. And you see how good they are, right? When there's no AA. I mean, obviously the IHawk's here now, so you would expect big things. And he did evac it, I think, when he saw the IHawk, which makes a lot of sense. That's two, actually. Gets out there. Berrig should now basically F1 click, F1 click. Now you know where they are. Not sure why he did that. Because, yeah, now we can only put one jet on that, and so that's going to land. And more Reservisti going over here, where nothing is happening, instead of over here, where Red is going to lose if they don't sort this out. So, yeah, you see he's using the mortar to try and block off, like, I saw when this ATGM position fired, he put the mortar there. There you go, Berrig's on the IHawk. Did he cancel it or something? That's weird. It's a 6 salvo length. If he'd kept it going, it would have killed him. Anyway, Eagle's trying to get into position here to deal with the Apache rocket. But yeah, this is an absolute nightmare for a 27Y player. 2 lakes, and they're in your town. It's a horror show. Basically, you have to get around him, you have to get up to here and cut him off. You can't let him get in, and then you can slowly kill him off. But yeah, watching all the infantry drive past to go march over the open field and die is it's pretty dispiriting, really. So he's forced to try and deal with it with these 7-man squads, right? Against Delta Force. and you know, 14-man squads and Green Berets ODA, and yeah, it's really not great at all. Also, you know, yeah, there is a CV coming up now. And a backup one, although actually that's going over here. So yeah, if you are 157Y and you find yourself, you know, let's say it's a 1v1 and this just isn't happening, and you're in this situation, basically, yeah, you want to get some smoke mortars, which he's now doing. And yeah, you know, use the Berrigs, right? Blow this up, blow up the next one, blow up the next one. And especially with this big zone, there's a reason they made it smaller. It's basically because you take this, right, and then you just smoke, or you just smoke this road, and you just come and sit in here, and you're just in the zone. So it looks like he is trying to take this now. But yeah, this is a horror show for 27Y. They're like, what do you do about this? I was playing, like, in general, 2 Lakes as an armored division. If the enemy gets in your town, it's really bad news. Obviously, some armored divisions have more infantry than others. Technically, this is actually an infantry division. So you can get like 2 cards of sappers and stuff like that. And yeah, the Saperi RPO, you know, if you buy them all at once and send them in, and you can try and make something happen, but, you know, obviously Blue just has the better stuff. They are 101st Airborne. And, you know, move these forwards, right? Get a supply here, so as soon as you fired all your RPO, you can restock, resupply. Acacia, okay, it's going on the pivads. And yeah, basically what you want to do is get these 3, 4, and get a couple BRDM2 recons with them, or BRM1Ks, and you move them up here, right? You kill all, well, obviously the infantry needs to go first into here, but you get them here, and then you clean this out, and then you get over here, and you get to here. Obviously you're going to need a lot of AA. Those rocket planes are really good. 3 per card. Not sure why he's changed his mind. But yeah, he needs AA, like the Strela 10 he can bring up to shoot this, because otherwise it's just going to kill all his stuff. He's getting another one, so look, Moosman's taken this now, so he's got the mortars, and now he can smoke, and you just drive in here and sit in it. You put a couple reservisti in there at the front, because obviously the infantry should counter push you. But yeah, I don't know, I'm repeating myself a lot, but it's because this is causing me physical pain. Why is the 27Y player in the town? Why is the 157Y player in the open? So, the M270HE in, this thing is absolutely garbage, by the way. The cluster one's not so bad, right? This one's terrible, don't bring that. You'd be much better off bringing the M110s. But yeah, he's got some AA up now, right? The Strela 10 M3's got a little bit cheaper, which makes a lot of sense. And yeah, he needs to get over here, and, you know, and then get to here, get up here, and get around there. Fighting in the town's a waste of time. This is a lesson I relearned today. I ended up here as first UK, and there was a 6Y player who just you know, bought a bunch of helos at the start and then just sat on it and kept trying to push back into the town. That was a waste of time. I should have come up here. Probably still would have lost, because obviously he gets really good ATGMs and stuff as well. But grinding in the town as like a heavier div is just not going to work. So, TikTok slinging some long-range missiles at that Phantom. And it gets 4 of them. This thing carries a lot of missiles. I suppose it's as many as the Tornado. Oh no, he's going over the chaparrals. Well, I guess his teammate probably didn't tell him. There's AA there, bro. So, there's a big waste there. And yeah, it's just kind of business as usual over here. Just watch your friend die. Yeah, big sad, really. Because yeah, imagine if like just these 5 reservisti, they all came up here, just chuck them in here, and then there you go. I mean, obviously you probably need a bit more than that, but so you see YourFish, he is pushing over here. He's moving up a bit, but he really needs to take this. So if you take that, then you've cut one of the reinforcement roads, and then they can still use this one, right? But you just get one of these and put it there, you know, this there. There you go, problem solved. But it's easy to say. It's kind of hard to do because he won't be able to see any of this basically, and so you constantly risk because basically if you're Peanut in this situation, you want to get like a tow 2 in here, and certainly like I don't know what he's switched off the weapons on that for some reason, just that one. So like these, because you see this here, and basically yes, the dragons should all start coming into these buildings and shooting them in the side. So. It's not straightforward at all. So yeah, being a bit silly with the fighters, just keep flying them near the Eyehawks. No Krugs out, so yeah. No Krugs out. This thing's holding fire. He's just waiting for him to drive there so he can release holding fire. And yeah, this is just walk the reservisti forwards, one autocannon stops all of them, walk them backwards, wait for the repair vehicle, try not to look over here. How's it going over there? That's your zone. Why have you lost your zone? What's going on with your lane? I don't like team games very much. Sadly, you guys love me playing them, right? So I keep having to enter these 2v2 tournaments. So yeah, a bit of smoke there. Not thinking big enough, basically. Just smoke there, smoke there, smoke there. Drive it all in and just sit here. And then just move the smoke over to all here and just sit in the smoke. That's how it's done. But yeah, you see counter battery coming in. So he's not moving these. He's actually sold the transports they came in, so he can't move them. Incidentally, if the 27Y player was on this side, he has the self-propelled Nonas for the smoke. Grad comes out. I'm surprised that took so long, to be honest. So basically, as soon as it comes in, you want to shoot it. And then, because like this is literally perfect for a Grad. You don't get things like this in 1v1. There's usually just not that much there. Oh, there you go. The Krug's here now. So he needs to move this now. Okay. Because it reloads while moving, so you want it to shoot as soon as you purchase it. But yeah, you just got heavy div against town. He really needs to push up here. I don't always take this advice and then I lose, right? So obviously it's the correct idea. Just to push up to here. And then they just can't resupply. Do have to deal with all the AA, but these are cheaper now and they're really nice against helos. And the Tunguska's pretty good against helos, right? That Grad still chilling. He sent up a CV, but not for the Grad. He's sending it for the town. Okay, he's putting it on the Grad now. Is Grad gonna shoot? He's obviously looked at it because he had to do this. And it's like, maybe he's waiting until he can see the enemy. It's pretty obvious where he's going to be. So, yeah. I'm sure we'll see it eventually. So I'm not sure what the plan is here. Fly a slow plane over here, get hit by an Eyehawk. Next tick. Buy another slow plane, fly over here, get hit by the same Eyehawk. So more mortars coming out. I mean, he's clearly trying to prepare for something here. Need some Iglas in here, I suppose. He does have them. And those towed AA guns are really good, right? You drop them in here. The ZU-23s, 27Y gets those, and that's how you kill your enemy infantry. Grad firing? No. Iglas are coming in, though. That's good. Another CV. Yeah. A bunch more reservisti here to sit this one out. Sit this one out. Just building up here. That was a side shot, must have been. So yeah, this obviously is not going to kill an M1A1 Abrams. So Need to swing these over if you want to challenge that, I suppose. That's weird. Yeah. Just a fundamental misallocation of resources. Like, both of these guys are just fighting where their division is weakest. And the blue guys, you know, to their credit, have put their guys where their divisions are strongest. You know, 101st player rushes the enemy zone and then just sits in it. Yeah, you know, red can still salvage this. They just have to, yeah, fire the grad and get all this armoured stuff that's just sat around not doing anything and move it up here, cut this off, and Bob's your uncle. I mean, look how many kills he's getting. All the goats. The greatest of all time supply vehicles, which are actually the worst one in the game, I think. No, there's a worse one, which this div also gets. It costs less, right? No, this is the bad one. I can't remember. One of them's 25, one of them's 30, maybe. The 300 supply one's a bad one. Anyway, you basically want... Obviously, this should be moving after it shoots, and you want supply next to it as soon as it finishes firing. Or as soon as it starts firing. So it can immediately start reloading. This is still waiting for an attack there. This guy's quite content to just let his friend bleed out on the floor here and not do anything about it. So, yeah. Pretty unlucky on that Strela 10M there, missing all those. T80BV went down. And yeah, you know, one wonders where this is all going, right? Is he gonna do anything with this? He's moved up to here now with his you know, so 11, 12, 13. Some of them have died, right? But yeah, he's lost this. And yeah, it's just the same old armoured division infantry versus infantry division infantry, or airborne division infantry. He's bringing in more and more arty, but the ones he's got, I suppose they are firing. These ones are reloading at the moment. He's just slowly trying to clear it out. This is still... I mean, he put these here presumably for this. Okay. More happening on the left. As in, sorry, more going on the left. I suppose nothing's really happening. The reservisti are going to die, so he's lost this position, which is pretty fundamental, actually. It's hard to push if blue's in here with, like, one tank, and he can just shoot you in the side as you come in. Just flying near the Eyehawks again, although he's forgot to resupply them, so that time he doesn't get shot. And, yeah, I'm not sure where all of Peanut's points are going, actually. I've not seen any more people come in here. But look at this, like, this is completely cut off. If he actually got his stuff and just walked over here, he would take it. And then he would be in here, and, you know, obviously he's got lots of AA, so that should all be behind it. And then you come over to here, you know, and then you've surrounded the town, and then you can kill him. Right, so it's finally happening. The big push. So what's the plan here? Oh no, I see, he's just smoking and not doing anything. Alright, well, you know, we got 17 minutes left, maybe they'll do something. Because, yeah, he's smoking, but nobody's moving. So all he's doing, really, is just showing his opponent where his smoke mortars are so they can get hit by artillery. So yeah, typically, you know, you want them all attacking if this is the plan. I'm not sure what the... So yeah, the idea is smoke off this side, and then you can run frontally into the town. Which, yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but you actually have to do it. You don't... Oh no, he's unloaded them all here. So now they have to walk, and they're not gonna... The party started, mate, but you've left all your guys behind. Anyway, big airwaves coming in over here. Krug hit something. Phantom there. And there you go, this can finally shoot. He's been waiting a long time to do that. And yeah, all the guys, they're all gonna slowly... No, one of them is gonna walk in. Then the rest... No, okay, there we go. But yeah, typically, you know, you want to kind of synchronize a bit. Oh no, I see. He sent in all the transports and left the infantry behind. And these guys aren't coming up. Could be going a bit better, really. But generally, I mean, a lot of the guys are firing. The smoke on the sides is cutting off the ATGMs. He did kill the guys who were here, and they didn't get replaced. So, JonathonFrisbee here, moving up some of his tanks, and not others. And yeah, he's risking getting side shot because he has to go through the smoke and stuff. Over here, I really can't see the 27Y player making it if he's going to continue to just headbutt the town. But yeah, this might work. I mean, Blue's infantry's kind of running out. I suppose he sort of invested mainly in tanks. But yeah, so many guys just sat around not helping out. Like, for example, the military police guy is not with all the reservists. He got left behind. You really don't want to blob like this. This is a terrible idea. One bomber, they're all dead. Oh, here it comes. Looks like he's going to spend it on something else, though. The A10 HE, I don't really rate. Did see a guy win a tournament with that, though. It was a 2v2 tournament. It was the first DEF CON 2. Had a $1,000 prize pool, and NATO boy brought the A10 HE. Might have been the SU-25 HE. And it worked, so... Anyway, the mortars, yeah, they've ran out of smoke. So it's not really firing, but... Yeah, I mean, it's sort of working out, right? It's just, he's just leaving half of his guys behind while a couple go in and die, and... You know, it is hard to control this many units, but... Anyway, that's where all Peanut's points have been going. He's been saving up for some Delta Force. I guess he's mainly been buying planes, right? Still +1 to Blue. And, yeah, the Eyehawk, still there. Krug's not got any ammo, so... Grad's not firing. I mean, yeah, the second or third wave of reservists... I suppose this was the second wave, and they never actually went in. So, yeah, the third wave of reservists have shown up. This guy, happy to see him. Where have you been? Well, we unloaded there, and then we sent our transports forwards to help you. Anyway, interesting counterplay here by Mr. Frisbee. Red really determined to just lose all their fighters. If you call one in, you have to just shift-click it back here over and over again, otherwise it really does just fly over the middle of the map and die. Anyway, the Reservisti did not get massively blown up in their big blob. So they've got into the town now, and now we can get the CV in. Or has he not unlocked that? No, he's buying another one. He's sort of forgotten about this, I suppose. Yeah. So, over here, still sort of situation as usual, right? Loads of armoured guys just sat around because they can't go in the town. And for some reason he doesn't want to go around the town either, so they just sit there. Could do with swinging some of these guys over to fight these tanks, you know? Like the T-80BV, the BMP3s, right? All these guys, just grab them all, right-click over here, or Q right-click over here, kill this, and you just keep going, get all these guys, kill all that, you know, or drag them this way, drag them up here. Anyway, Red, they've made it, but they're not sending the CV in. CV's chilling. I think one of the Berrigs died. It's not Berrig. So, yeah, you know, Blue reinforcing. This guy's not shooting, but neither's the enemy MLRS. Some kind of partial ceasefire thing going on here. Not sure what's going on with these deltas either. So, he's smoking. I'm not sure why. I guess the idea is, because all this fire support could be here, and then if the infantry gets to here, it all gets shot. So I guess he's smoking that to stop these guys from shooting. But they're not really in a position anyway, but obviously he's not to know that. Okay, yeah, so the barracks have just been getting blown up by artillery because he's not been moving them. And, yeah. CV's still chilling. Second one was on its way. Basically, you know, you want to send in the military police guy to back up the reservists. Oh, I suppose he's actually got one there. But yeah, I don't understand why some of these guys have been left behind, really. And especially, like, so basically you want this up to here so you can shoot all this crap. Right, this up to here so you can shoot all this crap. Generally, the idea behind taking zones is cut your enemy reinforcements. Obviously, you know, it's easy to say, hard to do. Like I said, I had a game today where I didn't do that, and I lost the game, and it was on this map, and I was on this side, so... You know, it does happen. And after the game, you're like, oh yeah, I should have done X, Y, Z. Why didn't I do that? Yeah. Not sure what's going on with these Delta. And some of the infantry, you know, these guys almost go to the same school or something. They've all got the same idea. Send in some of the guys, leave the rest. Yeah, so Red, you know, I mean, maybe, hopefully this gets in. Otherwise, I mean, honestly, because then I gotta wait another 10 minutes for the next one to show up. Because he just doesn't, he seems to have forgotten about this. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Oh my god. Right, okay. So, I don't know if Red can really win at this point. They need, I mean, they need a CV in this zone, and that would only stop the tick. Although, you know, Mr. Frisbee here has overextended with his tanks, gets side shot quite a bit. You notice he's smoking off the enemy ATGMs there. It's nice to see people using smoke. Yeah, so the Delta are finally coming in now. I'm really not sure what Peanut's been buying. Maybe he's been... No, because it's still coming over here. Because, yeah, like, the infantry's not been replaced, really. So Red can basically just Q-click over here. He'll probably get it. So, yeah, he's unleashing the armor now. Armor's finally coming in. And it's still no CV. Yeah, this guy in the rear with the gear. Probably committing some, what do they call it? Embezzlement of, I mean, he is a Soviet, right? Bit of corruption there, you know. Probably selling this on Amazon. Fighter going over the Eyehawk again, but he can't even counter battery now because he lost both the barracks. And yeah, these guys are getting pushed out. No reinforcements. Not sure where the points have been going, really. So there you go. You know, he's got the ability to just sort of click all this, click up here, click over here, and just kill everything. But they got to here and they stopped again. So give him a few minutes. Maybe he'll move up to the next thing. And yeah, these mortars, you know, they just keep getting killed because he's not moving them. You know, this isn't firing. Pretty good there, actually. I mean, he's taken most of the town, so the less space there is. Oh, there's so Peanut's come back from wherever he was, and and there's your 18, 22 infantry there. So 44 units if you include the transports, right? Because I believe these are in segments of 9. Yeah, they are. And then that ends Red's, you know, Red's respite. You know, they kind of wasted their opportunity. They had all this time where this guy just basically wasn't buying anything. I don't know how many minutes income that was. Oh, this is finally firing again. It's going on the guys who refused to advance so they could save themselves. Well, Doesn't save you from the grid square deleter, which does, as you can see, absolutely nothing. This is a 2 HP squad, by the way. And yeah, just don't bring this, the HE one, it's very bad. So here's the big conga line coming in, and this is still up. This just survived the full volley from that. It's got 2 HP. So, and it didn't even lose a single one. That was basically right on it. So, don't bring this. It's very, very bad. Right, so he's sending 2. There are some more here. Well, there were. I suppose they're coming around this way. Some here as well. Needs a bit of recon with it, really, right? Don't want to just send the tank because you can't see anything. So basically, move this up to here, move this up to here, right? And then, you know, then you can move this over, and you know, then you can see stuff. So the big blob. Typically, you don't want to be too close to the town because something like an AT4 can shoot you. So you want to come in like over here, right? That sort of thing. But look at that, he finally did it. So there you go, the tick stops, and you know, red with the recovery. Sadly, it is a 40-minute game, right? So, and it looks like they're not going to get in here now because, you know, blue have decided to spend their points, and so it looks like blue's going to win this one, right? I don't really see what red can do here. It depends, right? I mean, he's actually got the recon in front of it now. Have you noticed that now he's got that? They're shooting, whereas this was just here and it just wasn't doing anything. It's because it couldn't see anything. So, you know, this is working, right? And, you know, at this point, sort of desperate measures kind of thing, I'd just sort of YOLO all. Oh, this zone isn't even here! That's the zone I was thinking about. It's not there anymore. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you know, hopefully you've learned something from this game. First thing is, you know, if your teammate's in trouble, you really need to help him out because you're on the same team. And the infantry div should be in the infantry fight, and the armoured div should be in the armoured fight. Just, you know, periodically just look back here and be like, what have I got? Oh, see, well, that'd be useful, you know. Bring recon with your tanks and stuff. And, you know, spend your income. What else? Yeah, look, there's been some lack of income spending going on here. Yeah, don't put the armored div in there. Yeah, see, I figured these wouldn't go over here. I figured they'd go back. He's saving them for the next game. So, yeah, you can see because now they're both putting their units in one place. You can see what can be accomplished through that teamwork. So basically, at the start, a Moosman here should have helped his teammate clear this out. And then, you know, you fortify it, and then you both come over here and you both put... Obviously, you have some guys here in a defensive location, but they got to push you pretty far back to get to your zone, right? And so you got a lot of time. You got a lot of space, and you can turn that into time. And then you both come over here, and look at this. This is like 2 minutes income each. Well, what do you know? Now you're in the zone. Just like that. Just like that. What you've been trying to do for 36 minutes, you did in 4. Right? 4 minutes income. And it's just the teamwork, right? Looks like these might get side shot by this A10 here. So yeah, he sent it in from the side because obviously the side armor's lower, right? So, although it did just miss like 3 Mavericks in a row there, and then get immediately nailed by a Crook. So, big skill issue there. Not sure what he's playing at. And yeah, it looks like Blue's gonna clutch it. They just had the better strategy, which was put the infantry div where the infantry div's strong, put the armoured div where the armoured div's strong, you know, big open field sort of thing, and then just kind of sit on it. So yeah, particularly among the lower levels, forward deployment is like ridiculously important because people just can't attack, and so what? Okay, I'm really surprised that didn't die there. So yeah, the power of forward deployment, like, so it's like when the game first came out, airborne was like the be-all and end-all, and you know, part of it was the airborne divs were stronger back then, and vision was worse. but part of it was just nobody knew how to attack, and so whoever gets there first wins, and that's basically what you've seen here, right? A bit of blob in there, the A10HE actually doing something. Because, yeah, attacking's hard. You got to pay attention to a lot of things. All the opponent has to do really is just spend his income and sit there, and that's, you know, that's 90% of the fight. Whereas the attacker, you know, he's got to do all this smoke and stuff. You can just see the red coming in the top right of the screen. Big red deaths there, but you know, I mean, red certainly could have done a lot of things differently. Actually use the artillery they bought, right? That grad. Should have brought 2 grads and just had them shooting all game into the towns, and then you would kill everybody in the towns. And yeah, you know, I've sort of repeated this point long enough. They just put their guys on the wrong sides. Also, the composition, I guess, should have had some airborne forward deployment in it, because, you know, if you struggle to attack, then just try and get there first and defend. It's a very valid strategy, right? If you're not good at attacking, that's a very good way of playing the game. And so you see, yeah, blue, very comfortable victory there. It wasn't close at all, really. They just sort of got there and sat there, and red, you know, they got the +1 with 6 seconds left. So I hope that was educational. And yeah, I want to see the KDs. Presumably, it's quite surprising that was so low. I guess he was keeping a lot of his armored stuff alive, like it was on 1 HP and he was sending it back, that sort of thing. I'm surprised these aren't like over 10k. Yeah, the 130mm thing's pretty decent against infantry, but you can't move it. So I don't know if the IS-2s may be better, but then again, the IS-2 can get hit by an ATGM, and the 130mm thing can't. So yeah, do let me know what you think. I mean, in terms of number of games, as you can probably guess, these guys don't play a lot. 162, 412, 216. So I have it's like 3 or 4 times more games than all of them put together. That's not really a good thing. I should probably go outside more. Anyways, GG.